Oh, hello, and thank you for joining me. I'm Timbo Took, and this is a joy of painting Middle-earth, a time when we come together to paint the most fantastic landscapes Middle-earth has to offer, and maybe we'll paint a scary one a time or two. That can be quite fun, you know. Now, I may not be the best painter in the Shire, but I do love it so, and I'd love for you to paint right along with me. So if you're ready, grab your paints and your brushes, and let's go on an adventure. Oh, hello, and thank you for joining me. That's right, I've been off for a few weeks, and I've been off adventuring, and I may have done a little bit more adventuring. But since I've been gone, the world has traded reason for madness. And my friend Serge, who is in Ukraine right now, and he's defending his home and his city and his country, he had been texting with me, and he asked, "Oh, Timbo, could you paint Helm's Deep for me? Could you do that for me?" Now that's a request I couldn't deny. So that's what we're going to do tonight for my friends in Ukraine. We hope for the best for this situation. I hope by the time this is on the YouTube that it's all resolved itself. But for now, for my friend, I'm going to paint this for him. There we go. Now we've got a black canvas and we've prepared this. We've put that liquid clear down on there, and I did a little bit of phthalo blue, just liquidy phthalo blue up at the top and down the center. That's right, we're going to do those walls today. And as they've been blasted through by the fire of Isengard. So I'm just going to I just have a few colors here. You can see titanium white, just a tad of phthalo blue if we need a little more blue in there. And we have ivory black right there. That's right. So we're just going to come here. We're just going to put this titanium white, load that up on our brush. We just have a 1-inch brush here, loading it up on there, and we're just going to come, and we're just going to do crisscross strokes. We're just putting in that moonlit mist that's going on here. We'll just bring it in, and it might be a little thick right now, but we'll bring it down. We'll bring it down here, right down this way. And there's not a whole lot of blue in there, so it's not going very blue, but that's okay. We just want it to be light, 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 light. There we go. Right there. And what this is today we're going to be putting in those walls of Helm's Deep, and they've been blasted out by the fires of Isengard, and you have the orc invaders coming through, and of course we have Aragorn down there to defend. That's right, we're going to put him in. We're just going to bring this down this way. There we are. Now let's just put a touch of blue in here. We're just going to come. I thought that the blue might be just a little too light, and we want this to be that blue mist of the moonlight. Get that dull blue there, and we're just going to brush this in lightly. Just lightly, just giving that mist a haze. There we go. There we are. We don't want it to be so bright white. It's not all lit up in the sky, but we do want that blue in there, that moonlight blue. So we've got that on there. Now, that might be a little thick, more than we want it, so we're going to come and we're going to blend that down. But first, I'm washing that brush in my odorless paint thinner. There we go. I just have that odorless paint thinner there in the bucket. And now we've got our rubbish bin down here. We're just going to beat the Putin out of the brush. Oh, excuse me, beat the Sauron out of the brush. Oh, there we go. There we are. Our brush is nice and clean. I'm just going to sit that down. Now, if that's on there a little thick and we want it just to be a little hazy, I've just got one of these blue shop towels, and we're just going to come in here and we're just going to pull some of that back off. There we go. Just rub that in, and don't worry if it doesn't look so good right now. We're going to use one of our fancy blender brushes. So in some places you want it to come off a little more than others. There we are. Be a little thicker up top, maybe. There we go. There we are. And now we just come to our blender brush. Where'd my blender brush go? There we are. Just one of these blender brushes. We just take that. And before I use this, I like to just kind of pull it. These have real loose hairs in there. They'll get all over your paintings. So we just make it just this round blender brush. And I'm just going to come in here and we're just going to soften this out. We're just softening that out. There we go. This is nighttime and it's haze and smoke. There's a battle going on. Oh, such an awful battle. We just bring this down. There we are. There we go. Now we're pretty much done there, but we can come back and let's put a little blue right on this blender brush. And we'll just give a little blue haze in there. Just tinge that up a bit. And you can see I have some of these hairs that are just flying around. And we'll even come back to some of that titanium white. Get that on there. Because we do want some spots. We want it to... we don't want it all to be flattened out. There we go. Now, we've got our walls back. Our walls will come in here. But before we put those walls in, let's put some orcs back in here. So, I'm just going to come... Oh, this is just a little flat brush here. Not a very big one. There we are. We're just going to take some of our ivory black. And maybe... take a little bit of that titanium white there. We want them to be dark, but not just pitch black. There we go. Mainly because it's going to be silhouettes here. They're silhouettes. The light is behind them. Just take this. And now, we're just going to put in a bunch of shapes quickly here. And we're not going to be able to tell much of what they look like. And they're just lined up, ready to come in. And we just do this quickly. Just putting these guys in, they're not... This is what would be a horde out here. There we go. We're just... this army that's streaming in now, they're flooding in. This wall has been breached. And there's just thousands and thousands of them out here. So our heroes of Helm's Deep have to repel them. Hold them off as long as they can through the night. Hopefully help will arrive. Hopefully help will arrive. And we just make these shapes. Come back, get some more. And they'll be a little darker as they come forward. A little bigger each time. There we go. And we may speed this up a bit because putting in a bunch of little shapes like this can take a little bit of time, so we'll do that. Now these ones that I have up in the front, I'm putting the paint on very thick. on these. I'm giving that some texture so that when you're done, the texture of that paint will pick up more light and it'll just give it a feel of depth. These ones in the front are picking up that shine, and these in the back are dulled. And this is just a mess of arms and legs and gnashing of teeth and all of that bad stuff. All of that bad stuff. Put one here and there, giving that some depth in there. There we go. They're just coming in. Now, of course, we clean off this brush. Set that off to the side in case we use it later. And now, of course, what they have is they have many spears and swords and things like that. So we just want to get just our palette knife. I'm just going to turn my hand this way. Hopefully I'm not in your way. And we're going to put some of these. They're just filled with these spikes and these pikes. Just get a little bit of that on your palette knife. The ones that are closer will actually come up higher. There we are. Just peel that out thin, scrape it across, and then come back to it. And we'll put some even in the back. Using that blue now. Now we're going to take that blue, and that'll just, those ones are lighter. There we go. We don't want them too blue. There we go. And it fades off into the distance. There we are. Now maybe the tip of those spears is catching a glint. Just a glint of light. So we just take some of that titanium white and we just touch it to the top. That's where that steel is just grabbing some light. And you see, you can put some back there where you can't even see. But maybe that'll give you the impression that there's even more back there that you still can't see. There we are. There we are. Now maybe we can start to pick up, the white hand of Saruman. Right there across the helm. Maybe on a chest. And you got to be careful. You're going to pick up some of the black and you won't be putting down that white. Pick up a little more white and just put some of it here. There we go. Just giving a little bit of detail in there, not too much. Not too much. Those are not our heroes. Alright, so we have this down, and now what we need to do is we need to come back and we need to put a wall in here. So the top of this wall, it's going to be very much silhouetted. So we're going to have our parapets up here. We're just going to come across right here. We'll drop those in. Now, you know, old Timbo, I like to turn my head to the side because I'm trying to stand out of your way. I hope I'm not in your way right there. Trying to stand out of your way, and I'm trying to give that detail. But a lot of times I tilt my head to the side. And I come in a little crooked. But I guess this wall isn't in real great shape. And we'll just leave it there. We'll just come. Bring this right down this way. And we'll put some highlight on this. This is that top of the wall. And here it's going to be broken off. And what we'll do is we'll just come out. And I should use the other side of this. We're going to turn this so we have this better edge right out here. This is where that wall is broken. They've broken through. We had hoped that it would hold out longer. And so by doing this, we just take this and we put it right over some of that we've done. That gives us the appearance that they're behind that wall. And we're just going to cover some of these guys up right here. Right there we go. That's where our wall comes down. There we are. Now we can fill this in. Let's just fill this in quickly and then we'll give it some detail. So we'll come here. Now this wall is the darkest part of our painting. Down here we'll have some light hitting the ground, so that'll be a little lighter down there. But for now, this wall is quite dark. And let's go do the wall on the other side. We'll come here, we'll start this one from the bottom and work our way up. And hopefully that's straight. I'm standing off to the side trying to do this. Maybe we want to cover that up a little more. There we are. Just come in over here. Maybe it broke a little unevenly, and there's a stone sticking out right there. And just gonna step in your way a minute. And just try and make sure I'm a little even. Oh, Timbo likes to, I stand there, you know. You know, you know. There we are. Now we'll bring this down. There we go. Now you know in this story this was a great battle. And there were times where it didn't look like it was going to be won. But you just can't give up hope. That is for sure. Just don't give up hope. Keep fighting. Keep fighting. That goes off right off that way. Let's try and make that a little straighter, I think. There we go. There we are. Now we've got a wall. Now we've got a wall. That will help to keep us safe. And let's just pull some paint down to make this wall. Just trying to get some of those lines out of there that I was making. Making a ton of lines. Which is okay. That's how these walls are made. By putting these stones all lined up. Alright, well, let's make up. There's a bit of color up here because there's a flat spot, so we don't want that wall all just to be one color. So we're going to dull this white down, make it a gray of some sort. Get it the right color. It's going to be brightest up here on the top anyway. There we go. We'll just take that. And this is the top area here. There we go. Mix it up. Do the same on this side. That's that embattlement up there. And then, of course, we have some stairs that lead up here. See if I can get this right. See if I can get this right. There we go. Well, they might not be even stairs. You might not want to try and slide on a shield down these stairs. Oh, who would do a thing like that? Who would throw a shield down and try and slide like there's some sort of Olympian, whatever that means. And we'll just say these stairs, oh, they ran into the wall there. They got a little blown away. Those stairs lost something. I will say there were stairs on this side too. They met down here. And we'll say those stairs came to the end of their fate when that hole blew in the side. That's right. All right, let's put a little color on this wall. A little color, like I said, it's going to be pretty dark. We don't want it to be just completely solid black, but... we'll see if I did any color there. Oh, that looks like a little bit of color. We just want these individual bricks to kind of show through. Not too much. We're not going to take all day. You can if you want. If you want to make this a very detailed wall, you can do that. Nothing is stopping you, not Timbo, not anybody. You take your time and you have fun with it. You have fun with it. We just want something so it's not just a black blob right there, all in shadow. We may even do that up top here. Give it a little... just using up that color we had, if there's any left on there. It's a little lighter than what was up there. There we go. We'll come back over to this side. Do a little on there. There we go. Grab a little bit of that white again. As I said, we don't want it too light, but we don't want it completely dark. There we are. Let's do this now. We'll just come... and again, I'm just putting this in there quickly. Just quickly going through this. We want to get onto the stuff on the bottom of the painting. There we go. Just mix that up. There we go, and I'm probably all crooked there. You can come back, straighten some of those out. However you want to do that. There we are. Let's get to this bottom here. Well, there's a bit of water there, we know. We know there's some water there. So let's put this here. just putting this in here, pulling it down, right at their feet. There we go. I'm just going to set that off to the side. I might use that in a bit. We haven't even come to our 2-inch brush. And I can see I'm going kind of downhill. Oh, we'll just say it was built on a hill. There we go. There we go. Now what I want to do is I want to fill up some of this area quickly down here. So, just using this 2-inch brush, we're just putting in this area, this field. There'll be debris and stuff strewn about here. Now, this here, we want that to look like a bit of a reflection just because it's water. So just using our brush, lightly pull that across, and that'll give us a little bit of a reflective look. Come back up, grab some more of this. We're just going to rub this in right there. Maybe there's some mist. And you can see quickly, we just put that in and quickly that took shape. Now again, there's big old pieces of block strewn about from that wall. Maybe there's a big piece here lying on the ground. Another one over here. That one's kind of embedded right there in the ground. There we go. So you're just taking these and you're putting some blocks just around right here. It's a bit of a mess down here. There we go. Maybe one right here. Maybe we take that smaller edge of the blade and we put just some smaller pieces, just kind of littering the area. Came down, maybe embedded themselves in the ground a bit. Here. You can just hear those coming down. Thud, 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 thud as they hit the ground. Not something you want to hear. No, but those just look a little too black. So we got to give them a little bit of color on there. Just take your palette knife and just give it some edge. There we go. And that way it'll look like it's not just a hole that goes into the center of the earth. Like you're looking down into the depths and you see nothing. There we go. And let's do the same to some of those little rocks we made. Right there, just Give them a little bit of shape as well. There we go. Now, as we spoke about these battles raging on in Ukraine, there's many other places in the world where people are dealing with war. And my prayers go out to all of them. Oh, there's many wars all over the world. All over the wide world. And old Professor Tolkien, he knew about that. And one of my favorite quotes of his is when he said, "Oh, if more of us valued food and cheer and song above hoarded gold, the world would be a merrier place." And there's so much truth in that. And oh, he knew war well. He knew war all too well. The cost of it had cost him his dear friends, many of them. There we go. Just take some of that. We're just going to make a little more grayish color. And we'll just make some rocks right along the edge here. Those are a little bright. I didn't mean them to be that bright. There we are. Let's dull that down a bit. There we go. Do some on this side. We're just popping in rocks. Not pop rocks, not pop rocks. Popping in rocks. Just right there. And you can come back and you can build out that wall. Like I said, you can do many more details in there. I just kind of threw this down quickly. I threw that in quickly and you can see I didn't even do any coloring there. We should go back and put a little up there. Just bring it down. Just giving that an edge. There we go. Just a little. Not too much. Not too much. There we go. There we are. Now, of course, one thing we're missing right here is we need to have our hero. We need to have Aragorn. We need to have Aragorn there, ready to charge those orcs. Ready to charge them. So we're just going to put his silhouette right here. I'm just going to pop this in quickly. And we'll say he has his cloak on. That comes down like this. And maybe his foot is up here. Hopefully I got that right. So he's ready to charge. Long shanks. I should make his legs a little longer. Now, of course, let's just come in and give a little bit of shading there. There we are. There is our hero. There is our hero. And maybe just a little bit of light touching the side of his head. And of course, he's got his sword in hand, ready to attack. There we are. And of course, oh, let's do this with the short side. And the sheath sticking off his side. There we are. There we are. We have Aragorn, and he's ready to go to battle. Ready to defend Helm's Deep against those oncoming orcs. Okay, so I've gone back in after I've finished, and I've added shadows to Aragorn and the rocks on the ground, so they don't look like they're just floating there. Now, I think that looks much better. Okay, I'll let myself take this out, and don't mind the paint on my chin. I didn't even know it was there until I was done. Now, I hope you enjoyed this painting, and I hope for my friends who are defending their homes tonight. I pray for you. I wish for your safety. And for those on the other side, I just pray that a cooler head will prevail. We see that there's no point in all of this. Death and destruction. They're no good. Okay. I just wanted to leave you with this. But you have a good and a safe day. Goodbye, and God bless.